Hello everyone and welcome to the next video of Questmaster Early Access. By the time of making this video, the game will be currently on Early Access, so keep that in mind. Plus, you can pick this game up on Steam for like $19.99. It's well affordable. Or if you're not sure if you want to buy this game yet, you can try out the demo version, which is also available to try out. So, we're going to be talking back to this topic about conditions. So, I'll give you a more better understanding of what conditions is all about. So, here's the topic. Now, you want to understand about conditions. Let's say you go to the bank and try to withdraw the money from the bank. You go to the ATM machine, you insert the card in, and then you put in the amount that you want to take out, and then the machine spits out the amount of cash that you want to withdraw. Or if you're working at the place like in the hospital where you have to go to the next room, but only authorized personnel only, you carry your little ID and you scan and let it scan it for you, and the door will open automatically for you. Think of it as this way in this game as well, because there are some certain behaviors in this game that it will correspond to, like door opening with a switch, enemies appear out of nowhere when you press a switch. There's also traps that's also involved. Not just opening doors or making enemies appear. So, with that understanding, I'm going to give you a little tutorial about how to use conditions in the game and help you make a good dungeon for yours and for everyone to try out. So, let's get to it. So, we're going to go to here. Yeah, give me a second. We're gonna go to a new map. This is for a demonstration purpose. So, to understand about conditions, I'm gonna put out some tiles here for you to experiment. I'm gonna make this room bigger, because why not? Okay, so now when you pull up here, you'll be greeted with several tabs here. We have items to put it on the map. In the dungeon, we got some hazards, more like enemies, traps, and bosses. We also have interactable objects. It also includes switches and also torches. And we got some fancy gizmos to put in the game as well. We'll be covering a little bit of those. So, we're gonna try out the door. Place anywhere you want. This is for demonstration. So, we're not gonna keep the door unlocked, so we're gonna keep it locked. So, you want to send a signal to the door to make it open. Like, you clear the room full of enemies. You have to give the door that kind of condition. So let's say, for example, we get one of these. So in order to make the door open after clearing out all the enemies, we have to select the part condition called when all enemies are killed, it'll open. So now allow me to demonstrate. After one kill of the enemy, the door automatically opens. So now, same way can be done with shapes. Like, you give this enemy a shape, and then the door will respond to you when the shapes are turned on. This shape will also turn on, and the door will open. Like, you want to give the shapes a signal to certain type of doors or switches, because let's say for example, if it does not match, then it will not work. So I'll give you a demonstration. As you can see, the monster is destroyed and the door did not open. So make sure that they match, otherwise it will not work. So I'm going to give you a demonstration of how I match the shapes now. As you can see, the door has opened. So you can also utilize some more summons, more enemies to appear. Like let's say for example, we're gonna unlock this for now. You want to summon more enemies in this road, turn this place into a gauntlet. So we already have here an active shape here that's gonna turn on to a corresponding one. So we're gonna add another one of these. If you want to make them appear, make sure this shape will match the one right here. And now we'll give it a starting shape to activate in the process. So we're gonna add like another enemy for a demonstration how they'll just keep summoning one after another. So we're gonna add this, add another one of these, and then have this one appear. And so for the end result, you want to make the door either open by the end shape, or have all enemies killed. So here's a little demonstration about when all enemies are killed. Let's start this demonstration now. Another one appears. And there you have it. The door opens. Or if you can also add another shape for this one. And if you don't want to summon any more, make sure this shape right here, the last enemy, matches the one right here for this shape. I mean, if you try to add any of these two shapes while there's enemies still present, the door will automatically open, and you may not want that actually. If you want your dungeons to have all enemies clear, you have to use the end shape, which is basically the circle as I demonstrate. So watch what happens if I put in either of these two shapes. I'm gonna add a triangle. And of course, the door opens and there's still enemy presence. So, to me, it works best with using the when all enemies are killed condition. So, that being said, that's how this conditions work. Now, there are different types of condition you can actually use. Let's say when all torches are lit. The door will automatically open when they're lit. However, I don't believe wall torches count, so it can only be used by lighting these. So we're gonna add 4 of these here, and we're gonna make them unlit. As you can see, the door closes it. See? The door will remain closed until all the torches are lit. However, let's experiment the torch stands here. So if I light all of these, yeah, all of these will count. So any of these unlit will now count towards the doors. So keep that in mind. So we're gonna give ourselves the lantern. Now watch as I pick up the lantern and light all the torches. And there you have it. Door is open. Now you're wondering, I want the torches to unlit themselves later on. Well, to be honest, it has not been implemented into this game yet, so we're expecting an update, possibly a monthly update coming up the next month, which is in July, during the time of making this video. However, you can also have these torches lit by using switches. So let's open this door for now. Okay. So switches work the same way as enemies, and they have some different behaviors, like the pressure plates. Pressure plates can only be held down, and then if you step away from it, it will go back up. So let's say we program this to a square and have this programmed with this square. Like, remember, it has to match, otherwise mismatched shapes will not work. Now watch what happens. As you can see, the torch is lit by stepping on the switch. So if you step away from it, it will unlit themselves. So you want something like using this to make it down permanently. And it stays down when you step on it. As you can see, it will stay lit. So there are some cool ideas you can actually use for making an interesting dungeon. So also, let me reset. I'll give you guys a glimpse of what happens when you try to lit the torch when there's a switch programmed towards it. So if you try to lit it here, it will not work as I'm pressing the buttons. So if I press here, it lits. The reason why is because that torch has a condition set. So in order to fulfill its condition, it has to receive an input from the source, like this, for example. And this will be the output. So it's like connecting a gaming console to a TV. If you want to play games on your TV, it works at that way. So now I'm gonna give you another interesting thing to talk about during the conditions. So let's say we have a pedestal here. Okay, we're gonna remove all these, and we're gonna have an item here. Let's say we have a fire rod. This is a good example because we can also have the ability to put the item back on the pedestal. So we're gonna put one here. Now we're gonna give it a properties. They also have the shape conditions for it. But for now, we're gonna focus on using shapes. Let's say we give it a square. So, let's say, for example, there's in the style of Indiana Jones, when you pick up an artifact from the pedestal, something bad would happen, like traps will spring. So in order to do that, we're gonna test out the trap here. From the hazards, we're gonna use arrow traps. So we're gonna put some right here. Actually, we can do a copy, as I explained. So we want this trap to spring when the adventurer picks up an object from the pedestal. So in order to do that, as like always, they must match within these to each other at the same shape. This is the input of the shape and the output of the condition. Okay, so we're gonna tap this and close the eyes on this trap. And now we're gonna copy these and paste them. Alright, time for a demonstration. So there are traps there. If you pick this up, the traps will spring. Now watch what happens when I pick up the fire rod. You picked it up and the traps has sprung. So they will turn on no matter what. This will always remain active. So in order to stop the trap, we gotta put it back down and the traps will stop shooting. The same way when you try to open the door and vice versa. So we're gonna give you a demonstration on the doors. Okay. Now we're gonna lock the door and we're gonna give it a shape. Right. So when you pick up the object, the door will open. Exactly how it's like that. Or we can just put it down and the door will lock itself. Now, some people may not know about this little gimmick that you can actually force the door open just by tapping. Just by tapping on the door will open. So make it like it's like an invert from door closing to door opening. Now, grabbing the fire rod will work differently this time, so watch what happens. And now you sealed yourself in with the door closed. Now, here's a fun gimmick. We're gonna delete this and we're gonna add another door. Adding another door will work opposite of this door, but we're gonna use the same shape. Now this side the door is closed and this side the door is open. It works the same way, so watch what happens when I pick up the fire rod. Now the right side of the door is closed and the left side of the door is open. So it kind of looks like the way of a one-way trip. So keep that in mind. And there you have it, guys. This is how you work with the behaviors of the conditions. They work the same way as switches. So let's say, for example, that we have a floor switch. So this one will be disabled. We can actually put this one here. Let's see. We're also going to give a shape. Make the door open. So we don't need this anymore. And we're going to force the door closed. So now, watch what happens when I pick up the fire rod. And now the floor becomes active. And when you press it down, the door opens. So there are many fun ways you can actually experiment using conditions. Same way when you actually uses the chain, but it works differently. This one you are only limited to conditions, well, the starting shape. So let's say, for example, we can actually add this and have this appear. And we can actually follow up with differently. Okay. We'll have this pull up, then we'll use this shape as an end result for this door. Now, observe. The pedestal with the fire rod appears. Pick this up. The button becomes up. And we press it down, and the door opens. There's a lot of ways you can actually try it. You can actually make your dungeon with convoluted schemes, like setting up a sophisticated mechanism for your dungeon. It could be puzzles, of course. Um, it could be anything. Right, guys. I believe we reached the end of this little video about the tutorial about understanding conditions. So I hope you guys understand more about using conditions with various things. You can do a lot of things with this game. Uh, coming up this week will be more updates about quest masters. Just remember, this game is on Steam for like $19.99. You can pick it up on Steam, or if you're not sure about it, you can actually try the game demo for free, which is also on Steam. Alright guys, take care. I'll see you in the next video. This is Discharge15 on Twitch, and of course you will know me as well on Dinero05 on YouTube. Alright guys, see you later, and hopefully I'll be able to try out your dungeons. Take care.